And we're live. Welcome. Live from
Stevenage.
We're not in Stevenage. We're not anywhere near Stevenage.
Not yet. We will be.
Live on the road, which is what makes our podcast, our video cast, our simulcast, whatever the fuck it's called.
That's right.
That's what makes it so unique. We were in Buffalo, New York with a bunch of
Rowdy upstarts.
Rowdy upstarts of the boys a couple weeks ago. I did one by myself a couple days or last week.
A lot of complaints about that.
A lot of zero complaints. You know why there was no complaints? Because
wasn't
nobody
around.
saw it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That's the problem. Somebody goes,
Balls deep, Billy didn't drop it.
balls deep, Billy didn't drop it, so it never got heard.
Yeah. My dad goes, I just heard Buffalo. I go, I think there's a new one. He goes, no, there's not.
No. Nope, there's not a new one.
Nope.
If there's any way we could get our good friend, our guest, to scoot towards me just a little bit.
We are the only wrestlers in the business interviewing wrestling journalists. Some of you may
There you go.
frown on that, but we welcome that. The great Joe Holbert. Let's throw some flowers on the project. Talk a little bit about what you just did. A ton of people saw it. Great views for the boys and for the great FTR. But for those who didn't and are Talking Shop exclusive, explain the project, explain why the project, and please tell us the background.
Hold on a fucking second.
Nope,
You didn't
fuck
even
you, buddy.
say where we were or anything.
We're in England. God damn it. Heathrow fucking airport hotel. There you go. That's where we're at. Here we go. Fuck.
Now,
I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm not here to fuck around like you.
and Joe Holbert is who?
Another broadcast journalist. I was going to let him self-explain how he became a name of prominence that we wrote back and did a project with. I even have another pipe dream project with him. It's just the research on it has been grueling, and I haven't been working too hard on that.
You know, 2 journalists in the first 3 minutes is a lot for me, I gotta be honest. But strong Holbert pronunciation. Machine Gun can struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
He's a southerner.
Just slightly. A couple hubcaps have slept in, but nonetheless.
Joe Holbert.
Well, every time I go to say your name, I think,
Ooh.
is it Joe or Joel?
Just go.
Or is it Holbert or Hubert or, oh boy.
We're here with JH, ladies and gentlemen.
That works. I told it on the Tokyo deal, but we were in Chicago, and I'd told the story. Someone called me Joel. Joel seems to happen a lot. I don't know why.
I don't know why you would add an L to Joe. Joe's a
don't
more
know.
common name than Joel.
Well, I'll tell you why. I just forget I forget his name. We just became
Why don't
friends.
you have a little respect for him?
So I got the one Joel mispronunciation. So I was telling my friends, someone called me Joel. Can you believe that? And then I was leaving the United Center, and
See you,
a
Joel.
fella walked up to me. A fella walks up to me and goes, Joe Hubcap from Firefall. Joe Hublow. Was
I like that. I like that. You're like a self-deprecating humor, but a self-put over for getting recognized. Good stuff. Appreciate it.
Real recognize real, brother. You know.
So before Gallows just jumped in and told him to start telling his whole story.
Yeah, I wanna hear the story,
I was
damn it.
in the middle of saying that this podcast goes all over the world, all over the road. Where
Yeah.
we're at right now is we're just outside of London Heathrow Airport.
Yes, we are.
We're in London, England.
Yes, we are.
We are with me and the big LG the day before. We had a big sign-in today, you know.
Massive.
We have the great Joel Holbert. See, I just called him Joel.
His name's Joe Holbert.
Joel. Joe.
It's a good thing you stopped drinking. His name will be Billy Kidman by the end of the fucking
Thank God.
podcast.
Thank God I stopped drinking. Well, when we checked
Ladies and
in,
gentlemen, we're here with Xavier Woods.
ladies and gentlemen, Xavier Woods here. We checked in, and the lady goes, "Oh, you're going to have a good time here." She's Scottish.
Where was she from?
She goes, "Oh, you're going to have a good time
I don't
here."
know if she was Scottish.
I go, "That's great. I love coming to England." She goes, "Oh, the bar is 24/7." I went, "Oh,
I already saw your large partner.
well, thank God. Thank God I don't drink anymore."
That's good.
But Joe, you know what, Joe? It's great to have you on. You've been a fan of Talking Shop, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this is, I think 10 years. The old
old school, the
Tokyo
Tokyo
Dome
Dome,
and,
yeah.
My favorite thing about those ones would be when
What a
you
mess
guys-
they were.
You would, but you would cut the record. There'd be one session, be 4 weeks of Talking Shop, and you would know, like, okay, Saturday's going to be. How drunk will they be this time? You know, there's a couple with Tama that are like 4 session.
Oh, man. Tama would just be cross-eyed halfway through.
Well, those were the days, and the Tokyo Dome hotel days. We would, we'd eat our food. We'd get hammered at food after a Corrigan Hall show or something, or wherever we were.
Yeah.
And then we'd start getting excited. Let's get back to the room and do a podcast. Yeah. Then we'd do 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and we go, let's do another one. Yeah.
Oh, and then they went downhill quick.
Then there's at least 20 or 30 or 35 or 40 that are completely unreleasable.
We have a lot of people who walked out on the podcast in those years.
But Joe, listen, here we are in England. This is your hometown. You know, let's tell the people your story. People would always tell me, hey, you got a big fan here.
Listen,
you got a great guy named Joe Holbert over here. He's got a real loud fan base, and they are good brother people. You know, so tell our people about you and your people.
Oh, like exactly what I asked him to do 5 minutes ago. Thanks. Yeah, that'd be great.
Anyways,
Joe Holbert.
Anyways, there's a random man here. Tell us all about yourself.
You can just keep introducing me. Each time it's kind of getting, but no.
Anyways, it's me and Gallows. Here we are live from, we're sitting right here with Joe. Joe, tell us all about yourself.
I introduced him great.
You know, the couple more Joels than I'd like. Again, we'll get back to that. But
Exactly. Machine Gun.
we're live on Triller TV. We just met with Triller. CCO
Adam Bigwood, and yes, that is a real name. Great, and it fits right in with the pro wrestling motif. That's kind of our shit.
Got here at Starbucks. Gallows said, "You want a drink, Adam?" He goes, "I got coffee." And he goes, "Oh, of course you do. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have coffee.
Coffee's good too. That's fun.
All right, Joe, give us a little feedback of who the hell you are."
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough to follow the 8 different descriptions that have just preceded this, but I'll try my best. Again, I don't think journalist is the right term. I guess, media. I hate content creator, but I guess that's probably apt for what I...
That's what you are,
So
bud.
you get media
I
credentials
accept
when you attend these big events, so I'm sure now, obviously, right?
I avoid that entirely because that feels like a slippery slope. You know, I try to... I think there's a healthy distance, and that's why...
I love the honesty.
Well, honestly, with respect to the real journalists, like, I think that's a job that should be taken seriously, and I don't want to do that job, you know? So, like, I don't want to be in that middle ground, but, yeah, I mean, let's be honest, I'm a content creator. I mean, I could dress it up, I could do, but all sorts of wrestling talk, and I've been doing that now for, 8 years? 9 years?
I see this similarity with the Good Brothers and you too, Joe, because your work is your hobby.
Right, and it's also a lot of inside jokes that no one understands, which is, we're very tired with that, and...
a lot of self-pops.
Also, I mean, you have to, right? Someone has to laugh.
Someone's got to laugh. That's,
So I just did it then.
Don't worry, guys. You don't have to
yourself.
laugh at my jokes. I'll go ahead.
But so, were you a Fightful journalist or a Fightful content creator
Yes.
with Sean Ross
Sean Ross Sapp.
Sapp,
I'm actually like the big LG in the sense
whatever the fuck it is?
it was the wrong way round for me, and that I started on Fightful. That was the first wrestling thing I did was for Fightful in January 2017. So like
Wow.
like you going to developmetal as a 19-year-old or whatever. Like I have gone the other way around.
Yeah.
For the last 3 years or so, I've kind of been doing my own thing, and I mean, look, clearly the thing we did together with the Tokyo tape, I take interest in kind of more niche, quirky
You're a niche
things.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that stuff's, I mean, it's undercovered for a reason, right? It's sort of, to me, that's really more interesting than what happened on Raw or Dynamite. That stuff's fine.
But I love that you're a pro wrestling vault guy because I think some of the best stuff. I don't watch a ton of WWE content currently, but I do love when they release the WCW vault, and I feel like you're the kind of guy who could go like, look at these 3 matches from WCW Pro. That's the kind of shit I like too, where it's very. Very detail oriented and based, and maybe not the whole audience loves it, but the audience who does is like, fuck yeah, here we go.
Yeah, because the beautiful thing about wrestling is there's always something to watch.
Yep.
Right, and that's what kind of drives me nuts. I don't need a rant here on Talking Shop, God forbid.
Please.
It drives me nuts sometimes when people tune into wrestling TV shows they know they hate. And they hate them, and it's like there's so much wrestling to watch. Just throw on a WCW Worldwide or a
same thing.
Yeah.
I feel that on such a level, and I say this all the time. I have no personal tie to an old Nitro or an old Saturday Night, and I have no opinion like, well, this guy's great and he should be pushed harder, or this guy's a dick. I have no opinion of that. I just watch it. I rarely get to do it, but like my 18-year-old and I throw that on, and it's just fun to watch the wrestling. I don't have there's no vendetta, there's no motivation behind it. It's enjoyable. And then like, why the fuck they put that match on there? Oh, this is great. That's fun.
Exactly. And I think there's a real thrill for me personally. I'm the kind of fan that like. You fire up YouTube and there'll be a random suggestion, like some random Finley match or Sabu match. It's like let's see where it is.
Let's see where it goes. Yeah.
I think that's more. I think with fans now, there's a real surge in people like trying to complete wrestling. So it'll be like, what are the 10 most highest rated matches? Let me watch them and give my opinion. And it's like, you can do that.
Yeah.
But you're probably going to like those matches and have the same opinion everyone else did. Yeah. There's something fun to discovery. That's what I like.
100%. That's why there's 20 Mount Rushmores of different wrestling things.
Right.
Because everybody's so worried about where it stands. Yeah, that's a great point.
See, I like this because I feel like every podcast, wrestling podcast or radio show is just always fantasy booking or saying what they did or didn't like. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you liked it or not because you ain't booking it. I mean, that's just, you got to remember.
It's funny that, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I use this comparison all the time. If you the person that wrote the TV show Lost can write and end it however they want. Yeah. If you don't like it, then you got to get your own show.
Yeah, it's
it drives me nuts.
100%.
Like,
yeah,
I don't like the way
then make your own Lariato and just make who you want to win.
Listen, what should have happened is that this guy should have ran out during Cody Rhodes' match. That would have been much better. And it's but you're just talking. You're just diarrhea out of your mouth.
I think the reason for that, and this is a rare topic I think I have a little experience on.
Let's hear it.
So this is my theory. I think we have popularized the review show, right?
Yes.
So like on Tuesday you review Raw, on Thursday you review Dynamite, Sunday Collision, SmackDown Saturday, or whatever. And I think if you do that job for a month, I probably know what you think of every wrestler on that show. And so what you begin to do
it's redundant.
And especially for the ex-pros who don't want to have crazy takes about you guys that are actually bumping in the rings, which I understand.
Sure.
They instead then have to move into the
creative world.
Exactly, which is, it can be interesting and wrong, but it's a pretty hollow topic because you're very quickly going to kind of go, they don't see the guy the way I see them. That's the end of it.
Also, like this podcasting world that we're all a part of, and we've been a part of for over a decade, you as well. It's oversaturated with the reviewers. Like I love that those guys. There's a space for them to say their opinion. I'm a fan of 90% of them, and personally friends with a lot of them too. But it's just they're bored. I'm not going to say who it was or where it was or what podcast it was, but I was talking to a guy in an airport not long ago. He and I that does it, and I don't know if it's his living or what, but he does it every week. And he goes, man, it's like you got to watch Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, Collision, Rampage. He's like, that's the actual job part of it, not talking about it. So like, I think you can lose a little passion for it if you feel like you go, God, when I'm growing up watching wrestling, I go, another night of wrestling. But if you're, in your 50s and you've watched 3,000 shows and you're doing it again, it's like, all right, well, here we go. So.
I just can't do the fantasy booking stuff. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I get it. I think the issue is there's a sense that to cover wrestling, you have to watch everything.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think that's true. I mean, I kind of have to say that because
it makes
I don't
it fresher,
anything.
though, if you don't. But that makes you fresh.
I agree.
Because it's a real opinion. Like, I can't believe the clickbait this week, and I like both guys personally. I think Kyle Fletcher's a hell of a talent. I was a good friend of Stevie Richards. Think he's a great dude, and he's out there putting his content out. But he gave an opinion, and then he got a rebuttal, and it's been in the fucking headlines all week. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, and I think it becomes, God, it's almost like politics. It's like, it becomes camps, right?
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
I thought Stevie's take was kind of crazy, but he's
I thought it was kind of crazy too,
but
he needs someone to click on it. And now he's probably sitting there going, fuck, now everybody's shitting on me.
But it's also, a lot of people that are in my position are like, who is Stevie to say that? Stevie wasn't the world champion. Well, who the fuck am I to say that? I haven't even been in the ring. So it's like, I think you have to let the guy have his opinion, but
Steve Richards is a hell of a bumping feeder.
He was a hell of a bumping feed, man. And Stevie had a really good career.
Yes.
And that kind of is where you go, damn, like, does he wish he didn't say that? Because now everyone's shitting on him. But, I mean, the guy had ECW, WCW, years and years in WWE. A pretty damn good creative TNA run at the end of it. Was still out doing independence. Had a massive health scare. Says something to try to get some clicks, and now it's like, oh, shit.
Well, I think it's like this. If you put yourself out there, we have a podcast. You put yourself
People aren't going to like you.
Into any kind of public figure setting or content creator setting.
CC.
You have to be you got to get used to just getting shit on. That's just part of it. I mean, fuck. You know what I mean?
It's that, and it's also, I think, the issue is, I think he would have been better in fear of critiquing Stevie Richards, but I guess that's what he does. It's fine. I think he would have been best served to just give his opinion on Kyle without doing the he could learn an NXT thing? Because you guys were in NXT, I'm not trying to speak for you, but like, they're not. It isn't exactly a psychological textbook. What I'm seeing on their,
But I mean, that's such a broad thing though, because there's 100 fucking places you can go and learn. If you could, I want your opinion on this because you and I have talked about it off of here a lot. But like, if for example, like my son says he wants to wrestle, we'll see if he actually does. But like, if we had a son who had a dying, burning passion like we were, I think you and I would send him around to where we thought some really good independents were, like Roger Ruffin for a month, down to us for a month. Then once he gets good enough, we ask Primo, can he come down to Puerto Rico and do that for a month? Then can he go up to Canada and work around Scott D'Amore's guys and everyone he knows for a month? I think you can learn everywhere. I mean, it doesn't have to be systematic.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
And then obviously you'd send them to somewhere in Japan.
Yeah, then of course, and if NXT comes calling, I mean,
Well,
great.
but then I think you're probably more prepared for NXT. But this branch is another subject I'll talk to both of you about. Jimmy Jacobs and I were talking about this at the Maple Leaf Pro Show. It's like now, like 20 years ago or so when we were getting in, the guys who got like really, really hot and had like massive, massive buzz, like that indie scene drove that. But now it's you don't see it as much. Like the Samoa Joe got boiling hot. And ROH is getting hot. And then they explode onto the scene. And there's a number of examples, like from when we started. The Young Bucks kind of like that. But now, as soon as they get a little buzz, it's like either NXT or their AEW ROH. So you don't get to see the guys fizzle. And I don't know if it's a great thing that they get a job, but they don't get to feel like, I never got to feel it. I got scooped up because I was young and big. But like you knew what it felt like to be over like in PWG before you stepped into Osaka, right?
Yeah, but I didn't get over. I just started to teeter on getting over.
But you know what I'm saying with guys like that, though, like Kenny. Kenny was a developmental guy, but left on his own accord. So maybe not the best example. But there's a lot of examples of guys.
Or like Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe was my example, but there's a few more from that. 2000 to 2005-ish.
Yeah.
They were just like, fuck, here we go with this dude. And then Joe shows up in TNA, and that's the first time I really see him. You go, oh, shit, this dude's awesome.
Yeah, it's different now. You probably follow the scene.
Yeah, I think the best example of this was the crop in 2020. There was a group of wrestlers in the pandemic who kind of emerged as the new indie crop, and I think it was like Moriarty, Garcia, Yuta, and I think all those guys are very talented. They're all done well to different levels, obviously. But to your point, once upon a time they would have had, years in that scene, whereas they were signed immediately.
Right.
I mean, Garcia wrestled on the first dance, the Punk show. It happened, and
I guess it's better for their life. So personally, I'm happy for him. I'm just as a fan,
Well, I think there's a conversation to be had about, and it's difficult from outside the ring to say it because you just said yourself, like, we want the guys to get paid, right? But you look at the wrestling economy, if there is such a thing, it is it's very top heavy right now, to me anyway. Mm-hmm. Now, for guys like yourself with TV cachet, you can hit up the independents and your name, speaks for itself. But to me, it's like there's a lot of lower promotions in the States that are trying to be national promotions.
Oh, yeah.
And their talent pool, I'm not trying to be dismissive of the guys, but it's just it's a huge drop-off. From
well,
those top two, right?
I mean, listen, the big leagues are the big leagues for a reason. And then there's like we're doing Rev Pro over the next 2 days, and that's a high-level UK independent. But that opens up another branch of the conversation, too. Like, and this is a WWE thing, but what I'm transitioning here.
Big Pop.
Transitioning to this topic.
You need a Virginia Slim?
So is it 5-10 years ago when NXT UK pops up and a lot of those UK
I have a story about it. This is
where I'm going, for fuck's sake.
This is actually very funny. So when you guys left in February, I was talking to Machine Gun about the UK scene.
When we left or when we got fucking...
Well, I was,
When we got annihilated.
When we bowed out.
When we got broadsided again.
You can say it as a broadcast journalist,
This
Joe
is a matter
Holbert.
of perspective, there was a release, is the point.
Okay.
We were talking about the British scene, and this gave me perspective on how, like, in the bubble you were.
Me?
Yeah, so
Whoa, that's you live in the bubble, though.
I was talking to Machine Gun, and
You
I'm
didn't even
like,
know there were indies.
Oh, here we go.
yeah, I'm like,
Still indies in England, huh?
yeah. We were talking about Rev Pro, and that's turned out great. And I was saying Rev Pro have been doing really well, and I said a lot of the scene really suffered because of the NXT UK thing, and there was just Single reply. What was the NXT UK thing? And I was like,
What happened?
Yeah, it's a long story.
Come again?
That's fucking gross.
Well,
He'll hit you with a banger reply once in a while. He really will.
So I went on Busted Open last week, and I was explaining this. I've had a contract in wrestling since 2008.
Right.
I've been very fortunate, right? So New Japan Pro Wrestling 2008 to 2016. I mean, bam, bam, bam. I had 1 year contract to a 1 year contract to a 2 year contract, another 2 year deal.
I've had about 60 with all I've been let out
That's
of.
what I'm saying. Yeah, and then then we went to WWE for 4 straight years, and we got fired in COVID. Then we went right to Impact TNA, came to a 2 year deal, right back to WWE.
World
So
Wrestling
you
Federation.
I mean, I've been legitimately just kind of locked away from this scene. And understanding, and especially the COVID years, I wasn't paying attention to anything.
Well, there wasn't a shitload to pay attention to in the COVID years. You had to watch
mean-
Talking Shop of Mania or wrestle in front of chairs with Scott.
But
That was
there
it.
was, I just was so, yeah.
Or
I
be in
just-
the, what was the Fighter Dome that WWE had or whatever the hell it was?
But that brings me to your content creation, though, Joe. The late night grin. Talk to us about
Oh,
it.
yeah, let's talk about that.
I like to hear that. So for the people that don't know what it is and don't know what the Tokyo Tapes is, I need you to explain that, because even like I showed you a screenshot of my wife who doesn't like wrestling or care about wrestling.
She thought that was cool.
Thought that was cool.
It was cool.
And watched the whole entire thing. I didn't know it was 2 hours.
Yeah,
but
so like I said,
thought it was 20 minutes.
Like I said at the top of the broadcast, tell us about that, Joe.
Yay, welcome to Talking Shop. All right, Joe, here's the thing.
All
Hold
right,
on,
Joe,
hold on,
tell
hold
me
on.
all about yourself.
You
Machine
gotta
Gun,
expl-
please be quiet.
You got it. Can you explain who the fuck this guy is and where we're at? Hey, Gallows Anderson just found this dude on the side of the street. Anyways, tell us about yourself.
This guy.
People were just got strong opinions, man. What's he?
Fuck this guy.
But what you did with the Tokyo Tapes was so cool. What was your why did you do that? Where did you get the thought of that? And
Yeah, thanks, Carl.
yeah, thank you. I took that from you.
It's honestly, I remember hearing about the match years ago. Maybe when it first happened, because Seth did the tweet, right? And huge fan of you guys, obviously huge fan of FTR. And,
We like that. Say it again.
yeah, a huge fan.
Oh,
Massive.
So what was Seth's tweet?
A great guy.
Tweeted like, this match right now is incredible, because that was when Seth was in that era where he was like, WWE is the best wrestling in the world.
He was also stepping into that, like from the other side of the curtain, stepping into that leadership role. So he was rallying the troops as
Yes.
well. So
Now he's on the bus chilling.
Yeah, good for him.
yeah, look at the shoes he gets to
earned
wear.
it.
He earned it. Fuck it.
I feel like he's not around the monitor saying "good punch, bad punch." He's in the
Need to work on your punches.
he's
Don't
on
give
the
a shit.
bus. He's on the bus relaxing.
Hey, bad punch, awesome.
I'm world champion. I got a bus. Hope your punches are better. Anyways, machine guns in 2019 were amazing.
Great.
So I was obviously a fan of both you, both teams.
in the history of the game. Sorry.
And no, you're good. And it was something that people had forgotten. I think this match had buzz because so much has happened in the time since then, right? Like my goodness, that's a real like jump scare in this whole process, isn't it?
It's rough.
It's tense. And so much had happened since then, and it was a match that I'd tweeted through the years. I just called it the Tokyo Tape because like I didn't think it was going to come of it. It was
Right,
the
yeah.
thing and I turned it into a bit like I do everything else. And then I remember when you guys when you left.
Yeah,
Yeah, when we left.
Yeah, when you left.
Politely excused
During COVID.
We politely excused
Stormed
ourselves.
out, you stormed out. And
When we heard when Matt Cardona and Brian Myers messaged us say they got fired, and we're texting each other going, no shit they did.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. And then we got the call and went, the fuck?
I said, what are you
been
calling?
blindsided.
What are you calling me for, Mark?
In the middle of
Sorry,
all
having a
yeah.
rough day firing all
Yeah,
the
well,
boys.
why is Mark?
Actually, I got to talk to you.
Is
About
Mark
what?
Carano calling us to just fucking make himself feel better?
Yeah, I thought
Oh,
it was just a
he
morale
needs to
call.
laugh.
Yeah. We'll pop in.
We've been completely, totally shocked both times we've been released. Just to let you know. I mean, for real.
Thrice for me.
We'll do that. We'll do a deep dive on that another
Another
day.
day.
not today.
Not today. Not today.
But yeah, so it kind of came together as this thing I've been talking about on the air, and I just genuinely was like, I wonder if I could pull this off. And I felt confident like you and I could record something. But I honestly, Dax and yourself, I had first interacted with about the Tokyo Tape. Like I hadn't built any bridge there, and for some reason you guys wouldn't have come along for the ride. But the thing that really kind of motivated that was just completely out of the blue was Cash Wheeler messaged me. I just had one of those days, and I just like, today sucked. And Cash Wheeler just messaged me out of the blue. I'd never talked to Cash directly, privately, anything like that. And he messaged me and just said, I hope things get better. And
that's good.
Suddenly, I'll put you over in a second, I promise. But suddenly, it was like, well,
Waiting.
I think we have Cash, we have Machine Gun, we have two sides.
Yep.
Maybe if we could get everyone, like, it could be something. Now, when I first had the idea, I thought it'd be a 20-minute thing like you did. But then when I spoke to Dax, he was like, oh, there's a whole thing with the meeting. And then I remembered the story about you being concussed. And, like, there's honestly a lot to it. And now I'm putting myself over. But there is a lot to it. And it kind of captures that whole, like, vibe, which was an interesting time.
It's a deep dive, man. Yeah, it was interesting for us. It's interesting to look at as a fan, too.
No, it's there's so much to it. That's cool that you actually put it all together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very lucky in the sense that we have a pretty cool team at Late Night Grin. By the way, that was very impressive that you remember the Late Night Grin name. Very impressive.
Good job.
Thank you.
Very strong. Broadcast channel.
You remember Joel's other show here. That's nice.
Late Night Grin Late Night Grin brought to you by Joel Gertner. I mean Hobart.
Hey, we saw Joel Gertner the other day.
Yeah.
We did.
My goodness.
He was across from us at a signing thing.
We had a busy weekend. We went from Sparta, Tennessee. Well, we landed in Nashville. We drove an hour to Sparta.
Sold that sumbitch out.
Drove an hour back to Nashville. We flew to Toronto. Drove an hour to Ashweekend to wrestle.
Maple Leaf.
Drove the hour back to Toronto. Flew out of Toronto. Horrible customs. Flew to New York, and that's where we saw some legends like
we were
Joel
at the
Gertner.
Wrestling Universe convention. We saw Joel Gertner. We saw Paul Roma. It was a wild
Marty Jannetty.
list. Marty Jannetty, sexy Sunny Beach, who I'd never met.
So I didn't realize. So I walked into that signing, and I always forget this part. I listen. Say whatever the fuck you want about me, all right? But I've been on national television for the last decade, right? But I don't even fathom that. Of course, all those vendors know who I am, but I don't even fathom it. But I'm just walking by them all, and I'm just thinking, fuck, what are all these guys doing here? I'm thinking, they're looking at me thinking, look at this. Here's that dickhead. There goes dickhead Carl. I'm just thinking, it's hard to put into place that every person in that room is probably like, the fuck are the good
As
brothers doing
LaGreca
here?
said the other day, you've been part of the biggest events of the last 20 years. The vendors do have to know who you are. They
Yeah.
may not personally love you, but they fucking know you.
Well, they especially don't like us there because now we're there,
Taking money from them.
charging for a combo.
Hey, we're the most expensive for the autograph. Come on up.
Anyways, come on over.
I'm intrigued. So when you guys do the conventions, this always fascinates me. What is the part of the career that's most? Is it like the original Bullet Club? Is that the stuff people want to get signed?
It's exactly like the Tokyo tape. It's niche. They might come up to him and they want to just talk to him about the G1 and him and Bernard together. Then we'll have fucking people walk up and they go like, you might have hated it, but I loved Festus, and I'll tell you why. And it's weird. And then, of course, the majority are Good Brother, Bullet Club fans. And, we do sell the picture with AJ in it.
There's a lot.
It's a decent seller. We do offer his autograph for free, signed by us, forged.
There's a ton of people walking up, though. Again, it's all niche, but it's asking for Sour Boy.
Yeah.
And remembering the AEW and BTE, how popular BTE was is pretty crazy. Yep. And then you get people that just remembered him with Punk.
Yep.
You get people that remember us with AJ. I mean, always that
there's
too.
So many facets to us together, and then we both had a career before it, so there's 1 million things they can talk about, and I had 800 gimmicks.
And a lot of times we wonder, like, how are we going to have fun today? Will we meet a lot of, are we going to do good today? Whatever. But then we end up leaving pretty satisfied out of the money's whatever. But it's just the interactions with like fans, like telling us how happy that we are that we're there.
That's a good feeling.
Is actually the fucking most rewarding thing.
And you hear people say, like, when I had a bad day, like you said, or this was going on in my life, like, I really enjoy when you guys did this, and that helped me through. And that's a really rewarding thing, is any kind of performance artist, wrestler, athlete, anybody in the public eye. If somebody feels that way about you, it's cool.
Is it hard sometimes to separate how you guys felt about something you did to like how a fan feels? Because there has to be runs. I mean, as a fan of you guys, there are runs in your career that were frustrating as a fan that I see fans look back on like it was the NWA '96, right? Because every fan has their thing. Sometimes people come up and say this was awesome. You're like, we actually thought it sucked, but we're glad you liked it.
This is a sad thing to say because we're both fans of the business and obviously ourselves, but there are sometimes people come up and it'll be something from 6 or 7 years ago and they'll go, Carl, God, I really love that match you had with so-and-so. And then they walk away and we go, you fucking remember that? Nope.
Yeah. No, but you know what I think is you got to look at everything as hindsight, right? Because you're going hard. We always want the best. Like we want to make like wrestling's so competitive. Of course, it's not real, right? But it's
More competitive than a real sport, though, because it's opinion based.
You're really competing with these political geniuses that are still that are there, and obviously we're not. So
Team of
who's
George
the
Bushes
geniuses?
over here.
But like you want, right? Because like you want this, you want this, you want this, and then you don't get it, and it's like fuck that. This is the shit. So you look at it as a time that actually really, really sucks. But then when you get fans coming up to you like that and remembering it, it's like, oh, cool. And then when they say though, that was a frustrating time for us as fans too. We can go, it was frustrating for us as well. And I'm glad you guys felt the frustration.
Yes, the one that comes to mind in particular is when, and it's tied around the time we covered in the Tokyo tape, when you guys got back with AJ, it always strikes me, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but like fans really remember that logo, that run, and it's like and it's like
Good eye.
and it's like in real time, it didn't feel like something that people would remember that way. Not because any of you guys did wrong, but like obviously there was other factors, right? But it's just you never know. You never know.
Well, it's kind of the same thing as when we first came in. There was all this hype and all this excitement, and out of the gate, the programs are John Cena.
Yeah.
On the tag team side, we're beating up the Usos. We're in the ring with Roman every week. It's all that, and then we get over. We slide a couple things in there, like the beat up John Cena thing, and people were really behind it. And the nerd thing, people were behind it. And then they go, "Hey, don't say that anymore."
Well,
just go,
they drafted AJ away. Like they were always, because they're always, whatever, fantasy booking, whatever.
Sure, it's not their story, so they do what they want with it.
Whatever they were. I'm glad you brought this up because this is a statement that I said it on Busted Open, kinda, but this is something that's very, very needs to be out there. Really, AJ can get over on his own. Yep. He'll always be over on his own. But there's a story with Gallows, Anderson, and AJ.
There's a dynamic.
Has never been finished. Mm-hmm. And fans, no matter what anybody says, look at AJ Styles, they see Gallows and Anderson.
They just want me to punch him.
Sorry. It's just the truth.
They do, yeah.
As a broadcast journalist and or content creator, I will ask you guys the question on your own podcast. I apologize, but I'm interested, and I don't think we've ever spoken about this. So just take it out if you can't speak about it.
We'll speak about it.
You mentioned the story being unfinished. Mm-hmm. The last time we see you guys on TV together was not a dead end. It seemed to be the start of a new chapter.
It's one of the most unique stories in wrestling, and maybe it never will finish. But there's always the next hook at the end, and what's going to happen next, and then it goes away. So
Yeah, there's again that. If AJ needs a reignition, and again, just last week on, AJ did 2 interviews where he mentioned Anderson and Gallows.
Right.
There's always going to be that. That's always going to be there. And why they didn't go with it at the end, it is what it is. There's always different factors in creative stuff. But at the end of the day, dude,
there's always a battle you can't win.
Yeah, it's a battle you can't win. But it's a battle that we're clearly winning because we're outside doing fine.
Oh well,
they're mentioning our name.
The overall battle, we're always winning, whether people like it or hate it.
But we're setting up another return. I mean, we did a big return in Staples Center. I mean, just the
I was texting Hunter before we came in here about bringing Joe Holbert in with us.
Yeah. This, the money's got to be right. Just a little bumpski, H. You know what I mean? Just a little bumpski.
Little bumpski for the boys.
I know Gallows slid in. That little bump the last time when we discussed what the money was going to be, and Gallows slid without crossing it by me. But we got it.
Hold on a GD second.
Anyways, late night
during
grid.
the Tokyo tape, shook hands without even looking at me when I was going to ask for more. No. So when I got a bump in to get you more, and then you insult me about it, I'm unhappy.
Thank you for the bump. Thank you for the bump. But now Hunter has to bump it just a little bit.
I said on the Zoom, well, you know what happened to us last time, thinking, that would never happen again. Maybe we get a little bump. And he goes, well, I could do tears. And I go, yeah, we'll take the tears.
Actually, Hunter, listen, no bump. Hey, well, just drop it down a little bit. We'll come back.
Hunter, listen.
Just drop it down a little bit.
We need an escalator.
Maybe a de-escalator. I'll still
we need
take
an
it.
One time one time we're getting along great with Hunter, and
I need the escalator down.
He's just making jokes. We just signed this huge deal, and he goes, Hunter, how about for me, without him, $75,000 a year for life? I go, what? That's not a funny joke to say to him. And he goes, I'll think about that. Ha ha.
I actually said it to Mark Carano. I said, listen, just give me $75K for life, dude. I'm going to live till I'm 10, till I'm 100. That's a fucking multi-million-dollar deal. And Carano goes, no way, get out of my office. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I was walking around the ring,
said it to Hunter.
And then Hunter says something. I go, Hunter, I just told Mark to sign me for $75K for life, and he said no. And he goes, did he really? And he goes, come here, let's talk. And I went, well,
Son of a bitch.
when's the contract coming? If $75K is a good payday for life.
Were you gonna take? Would you give back the short-term contract for the $75K?
$75K until I'm fucking dead.
Till you're dead.
I'm going till I'm 104.
You're gonna go there. You're gonna go there at 103 and go like, well, Sammy Johnson the fourth, your punch wasn't good.
Yeah,
do that?
and maybe but that means I can still do some side stuff.
No side stuff.
Well, we didn't discuss that. Well, $75K.
You can't be brother around a WrestleCon.
$75K for life. I'm putting $25K in Bitcoin. We're good to go. That's a multi-million-dollar deal. That's
the worst deal I've ever heard in my life.
All right.
Could have took some incredible shapes. If you had that deal, you'd have seen, like after a year, as I said, we need to figure out something for Machine Gun to do. You'd be on the AAA booking team.
Yeah. He'd be running NXT Bulgaria.
I'd be mad. I'd be madder than hell the week after. Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't even get first class flights.
Welcome to NXT Bulgaria. I'm head trainer Carl Anderson, show producer and trainer.
Y'all see me on the phone, always yelling at travel. Why am I on Southwest again?
Why do I have to go back to Bulgaria? Well, you run NXT Bulgaria. That's the way it goes.
Shit. Well, guys, as we wind down here, we thank Triller Plus.
Can we at least let him say what the Tokyo tape was?
He just did.
God damn it.
He wasn't even listening.
It was a match in Japan we had.
As we wind down on Triller Plus, we thank Triller Plus. We thank CCO Adam Big Wood. We thank the Roku channel STGN 49 out of
Great
Atlanta.
Veronica out of Atlanta.
We thank our guest Joe Holbert from one of the grins.
Son of a bitch.
What's it?
The late night grin with Joe Holbert.
Yeah, that's it.
The medium smile with Joel Fernandez.
The British guy. The Tokyo tape guy.
Yeah, he's Dave Taylor's nephew or something. I don't know. Anyway, thanks.
But Joe, where can we find you? Where can they find the Tokyo tapes at? Yes. Just give us the rundown on all your stuff and anything cool you got coming up.
I appreciate it. I try and keep my Twitter updated. I'm sticking with Twitter. I can't do the X thing. Twitter, at Joe Holbert on there. And Late Night Grin is a whole just sea of content. I don't know how much of it's good, but
it's a community, though.
It's a community.
Yes.
Loud community.
Very loud. Yes. We actually are able to convince folks like yourself that we matter in the space because of how loud. Which I always appreciate and I always thank for the grinners for. So, the Tokyo tape is on LNG Productions, which is on YouTube. It's free. As you said, it is nearly 2 hours long. It's pretty extensive. It is not for everyone, but the people that are interested enough to watch it seem to enjoy it.
But it's free, so try it.
Yes. I think people that watch this will enjoy it, genuinely. It's a good time, and you guys will great.
We got a group of weirdos who love two weirdos, us. So
Yeah, what it was it was a match with the Good Brothers versus FTR in Tokyo, Japan, at a live event house show in Ryogoku. And there's just like a little bit of tape of it.
Yeah, and I got knocked out in the match before because we had to have two matches. So it's a lot of interesting stuff.
It was a hell of a match, but there's a lot of story to it.
So they tell me.
And a lot of behind
Maybe
the scenes
because I was
stuff.
knocked out, it was so good. I don't know.
A lot of behind the scenes stuff going on. We teamed with Triple H the night before.
A lot of contract talk.
Maybe something like that.
We teamed with them the night before in a 6-man,
The night
8-man
before that?
tag.
Okay. Well, from London, England, for the Big LG,
For Joel Hulbert.
for Joe Hulbert, for Arn Anderson. Can Fink sing us out? Or whatever he does.
Sing us out.
Joel Hulbert. Oh, the Fink, someone was squeezing his nuts that time from heaven. Joel Hulbert.
I'm glad.
The Fink's resting this week.
I'm glad I got Joe. He's a non-drinker as well. I'm on the sober train, baby. Still 650 something days.
600 and Hulbert days.
600 Holbert days, baby.
Love it.
For the good brothers, for the late night grin, boy.
Bull. Thanks, Bull.
They-
Thanks, Bull. Thanks, Bull.
We're out of here, bulls.
Good brother coin.